Marvin, what's your thoughts today?
Thoughts obviously, delighted with the players. To win the game and get a clean sheet was an added bonus. I thought they were fantastic. I thought they worked extremely well. Execute the game plan really, really well. And as I always say, it's easy for me to come up with stuff with the rest of the staff. They need to go out there and do it. And as I said, they were absolutely brilliant and really, really proud of their defending and the energy they showed within that game.
Certainly had to defend there after the interval.
Yeah.
To hit on the counter.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. We knew with kind of the conditions and the wind, we didn't know which direction it was going in. It made things difficult. They began to go a little bit longer. It was about, getting first contacts and then also getting the second contacts and then trying to play on the flip side of that. We always knew in the second half they were going to come out and come at us. We were prepared for that. The players stood up to it. And like you said, and then hit them on the counter-attack. And that was the important thing, is to make sure we weren't just sitting in and clearing the ball, showing that little bit of quality that the players showed out there, when we do get it down, counter-attack them and punish them.
And a great finish on that counter-attack.
Yeah, fantastic finish. Lewis Gibson does ever so well. The energy shown by him, Lee and Kyle Dockett at that point was brilliant. And like you said, Kyle, Gibbo reverses it and then Kyle opens his body up and puts it in the back of the net. I was absolutely delighted to see it hit the back of the net because he's probably told you he's got a lot of stick from me recently, because I'm demanding more from him all the time. And, listen, it was brilliant for him to get his rewards today. But, outside of the goal, how hard he worked holding the ball up and pressing and everything else was fantastic. And then you get something with Gavin Riley, which is, a massive, massive luxury to have him back.
I actually thought Kyle looked a lot fitter today as well. I think his fitness starting to come more. Yeah. It's taking us till January and it is beginning to come. Listen, as I always say, these are young players, and yes, there's a lot of coaching to be done on the coaching pitch, but also life coaching. And like I said, Carl's taking it on board now, and like you said, he looked fitter today. He felt better. He still had energy when he came off the pitch. Rather than looking across thinking when am I coming off, and that's down to him, because there's only so much we can do at the training ground. When he goes away from there, it's how hard he's willing to work and how disciplined and how many sacrifices he's willing to make, and he's been making those sacrifices, and as I said, he got his reward with that today with the goal. You talked there about Gavin Riley. It was a stronger bench today as well, wasn't it, with Gavin being there, Harry Cochrane coming back, so stronger bench. Yeah,
exactly. Brilliant to have those two back. Harry's only trained a couple of days, so he was only going to go on the pitch in an emergency. Gavin's trained the whole week. Obviously, now playing with a hand strap in. So, those two coming back improve any bench and any team, if I'm honest. Two fantastic players and they've been brilliant for us this season. And like, I said earlier, we had to get Kyle Dockett off to bring Gavin on, which was a no-brainer. Two top quality strikers. And yeah, as I said, Harry just wasn't ready to go on the pitch, but, he's done a little bit running after, and we'll look after him this week. He'll work again and then, be available for Saturday.
You talked there about the defending as well. Jack Bryden was just 90 minutes today. He's quality.
Yeah, he is, and he takes it in his stride. Last week he was always down to play 45 minutes. We'd given him 2 weeks training prior to the St Mirren game. He was always going to come off at half time. He was disappointed to do so because he probably felt he could have played longer, but that was called by Gavin, and then he plays 90 minutes today, and he makes us so much stronger back there. I think him, Effie and Carl McLennan were absolutely top draw. They really, really were, dealt with everything. Playing against Burrell, he's the top goal scorer in the league, and he hardly had a sniff. I know he nearly got in on the back of Carl's mistake, but in terms of their performance today, each and every one of them were brilliant. And you got Effie, the dad in between the two young boys, isn't he? And his leadership skills are absolutely fantastic, and that's only going to make Kyle and Jack better.
And of course, Harry having to go off at half time, like a shoulder injury, is that right?
Yeah, and it comes about through somebody being offside and then clattering into him. But again, it's about having good quality substitutes, and Gordon's found himself out of the team. But I've always said to Gordon, it's so important that you concentrate in training, because you never know when your chance is going to come. And obviously each time he sees the team sheet go in and he's on the bench, there'll be a little bit of disappointment. By the time he comes out here, he's ready to go. And you saw that at half time. No qualms in bringing Gordon on at all. Again, he's been our number one before, and he's gone on the pitch and kept a clean sheet in that second half.
A couple of injuries as well. Paul Mackay patched up.
Yeah, exactly. Paul Mackay patched up today. Gav was kept extremely busy today. So yeah, he patched him up. To be fair, I have to give a special mention to the staff. Kev, Gav. Gav giving massages to players until whatever time last night. Granty and Marsh have been absolutely fantastic as well and constantly leading me in the right direction. So this isn't just about me. It's easy for me to stand in front of you after a win and take all the plaudits, but it's down to them, because each and every one of them, works so hard for me when they're in and around it. Alex as well, the work he puts in with the players. So there's a massive appreciation from me to them. And as I said, I'm just the one that stands here in front of you and probably gets the plaudits on the back of it, but it's down to them. The work they put in the background is absolutely unrivaled. And then the board as well, putting their hands in their pockets so we can stay in a hotel and do things correctly. So it's a real team effort. When we win, when we lose, it's just my fault.
Coming up here though, I know everyone's massive, but coming up to places like Cove and taking the 3 points, it just feels that much bigger, doesn't it? Yeah,
exactly, and it proves what the players can do. Cove are in third place and they've been absolutely fantastic this season. That they deserve to be where they are. So it's only 3 points. It still shows that if you do work hard, you're capable of beating anyone in the league. But it also shows, we've seen before, if we come away from that and that kind of hard work and consistency goes to complacency, we can get beat by anybody. So I won't get too happy by tonight. I don't get too low when we lose. I'll go away. I'll come up with a game plan with the rest of the staff, and I'll just look forward to next week. Enjoying days like today is down to the supporters, the board, the players, but not for me, because, as I said, by the time I finish speaking to you, Sandra, it's already on to Hamilton.
I think Kerr Doherty's already on to Hamilton. He told me this is gone, 5 o'clock, time's gone. Yeah,
exactly, and that's the mindset you need. As I say to them, enjoy it when you're out there, enjoy the win when you're in there, listening to that awful music. But by the time you kind of get home, you're rehydrating yourself and you're resting up, ready to go again on Monday. Flip side of that, you need to enjoy yourself at times as well. They are young boys, and I understand that. But when we come back in Monday, it's work time, and they're beginning to understand that. They're beginning to get it, and it's fantastic to see them grow as not only football players but young men. It's brilliant to be around them.
But it is about keeping it going, and it's Hamilton next. But teams seem to play better against teams above.
Yeah, listen, they're in the same league as us, so we just need to go out there and do what we need to do. First and foremost, as I said, I need to come up with a game plan with the rest of the staff. We then need to get that into the players so they understand it, and then come Saturday we need to go and execute it. The same as what we did, today. From the last game to today, the process is absolutely fantastic. I always say to them, coming out here on a Saturday is the easy part, so to speak. It's the process from Monday to Friday. What do you do in order to make sure you're in the right frame of mind and the right fitness, and you've got a clear headspace to go out there and perform. So we'll be doing exactly the same again next week.